What's happening? That wasn't supposed to happen. But how is everyone? How are you doing? I think I can hear myself. Is it low? Can y'all hear me? Because I really don't like it when it's like really, really low. Because then I feel like I got to start yelling in here. And I don't think that's the case. I just have to figure out this mic. So if y'all could tell me if you could hear me without turning the TV up to 1,000, that would be great. I just knew that. So today, you can see I'm on a different platform. I am on TradingView. I am not on Top Step because today is a day that I don't want to put any of my money on the line. So today will be strictly this. Now you got to remember the layout of the land. I like to have a game plan, how I start my week out, and basically looking at the forex calendar, forex factory. We have CPI and we have PPI. CPI on tomorrow, then we have PPI Wednesday. So for me, most of the high probability setups are not going to be today. Doesn't mean that it can't happen. I'm personally just not willing to risk all that. So I'm just going to be sitting here on this. So if a trade were to come up, I'll take it on this. If nothing comes up, then nothing comes up for me. Just looking at this and being observing, I find this very funny that we on Friday go all the way up here, fail to come here, and now we're sitting down here. I find that quite funny, in my opinion, because I was like, I'm telling you, very surprised it went all the way up there. I'm just not gonna lie, but it is what it is. I don't have to. It's not really upsetting me. I just laughing at this point. So we hit the rejection block here again. This is how I start my days, with nothing on them. On my other chart, I have levels in terms of, where like highs and lows, and I have the projections because we learned last week after you've watched my video on Sunday, I need to have all my levels on the charts so that I know where I can look for potential taking profits or some type of scaling out. I need to have all those there because if I do not have that, then you could see I was kind of freaking out a little bit because I felt unprepared or knowing where or how deep it could trade below a specific low. So that was one of the lessons that I learned last week. And I appreciate everyone that watched it. Appreciate everyone that's here right now. So if I'm looking at this right now, we are clearly trading sideways or a little bit of a range. But again, we know that there's CPI tomorrow. So I'm not as heavily interested in today. But again, this is always practice. This is always something to how to get better, right? That's my goal, is to continue to get better each and every day and be able to look at this chart and for it to make sense. Now, when I first got up this morning and I was looking at this, I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what's happening right now. That was my first initial thought. I'm like, why are we back down here? We can come back here. We're in the middle of this range, by the way. So it goes a little bit higher time frame. It may clear it out just a little bit. But you see how we traded up into this 4-hour imbalance? This would be called a SIBI, but you can even look at this as a balanced price range because we went up and then came down. So looking at this, I'm leaning more towards the short side, but we're going to see how this happens. I just feel like we're inside this trading range, and I don't really like it that much. We're also in a premium, so if you take this to there, you change this. Let's change this to... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on, I forgot I made one for this. It's the GAN. Here we go. This will be a little bit easier for you guys to see. So anything below here, anything below this 50% down here, that's called a discount. Anything above that is called a premium. So right now we're in a premium market trading up into a 4-hour fair value gap. So the sell side is down here. So the first low that's in a discount would be this one actually currently. So the London low from today will be the first low that's in the discount. Now deeper, you have this one from Thursday and then this one from Tuesday, the 6th. So that's what I'm looking at and that's what I'm watching right now. We also have a volume imbalance right there. So we're going to see, I'm looking to the downside, but we're gonna just have to be a little bit patient today, because if I'm being, again, completely honest, I don't like where we're at and where we're trading. We ran through this gap. We have this gap up here on the 50-minute chart. We also have this, just so we can see this fair value gap here with this inverse fair value gap, and then in companies with an hour, this hourly fair value gap. So I'm liking that, but we may not get to trade all the way back up there. I'm wondering if they want to run down here with speed, like the original thing that I was looking for. So the buy side for me right now, our sell side is here. The buy side is above here. Can someone let me know if it's loud enough? If someone can let me know that it's loud enough and that you guys can hear me, and it's not like you don't have to turn the volume up too high, that would be very helpful. Because then I might have to draw a mark on here or something that lets me know how loud it is. Now I can try to turn this thing up, but I feel like maybe it's fine here actually. So I turn it all the way up, my mic, and on OBS, so it should be fine now. We'll see. So what I'm watching right now is, even if we take this from there, like we're at the middle. I don't like, it's harder for me to trade when we're sitting at the middle. When we're at extremes, I can kind of understand. The middle I don't like that much. That's usually where I tend to be a little bit off on my direction. But again, I'm thinking down here because of what happened. We had SMT up here as well between ES and NQ. So let's note that. We also had SMT between this low and this low with NQ as well. So that's what I see. I don't like that. Hold up. That's what I see. And we're going to just do this. I want to see if we can trade a little bit lower, because this is our swing high. We took out London high. We consolidated at London high. If you look on like a 5-minute chart right here. So this is London high. Let's mark that out. Where is it? London high. It's there. This is London low. London low. Now I'm gonna leave this stuff on here. On another chart I have pretty much the other things on there, but I don't want this to get too busy, because I want to be able to see and understand and get an idea of what's happening. So this is the opening range low from Thursday. Thursday. I need to change this. We're just gonna put sell side. It's fine. I have it on the other one, so that's fine. What's up, teacher? What's good, brother? How you doing? How you doing? How you living? How was your weekend? Is the volume good? Yeah, if you could let me know how the volume is, I'd definitely appreciate that. It should be good, but I don't know. I can see it moving on my screen. I just don't know how loud it is. So again, where my focus is, again, I wanted to see lower. We'll see if that's what we're going to get today. So we have this 15-minute fair value gap. That's what I'm looking at right now. And this is the clear sell side that I was looking for the day before. Remember on Friday, this is where I was looking for price to trade down to, that accompanies with this new week opening gap based on where we are right now, right? And I'm purposely, again, in the beginning, let me just rewind. I am not a financial advisor, so, the trades that I take are, for me. I'm not taking these trades so that everyone else can take them. This is just my process and how I go through them. And if you put on risk, that is on you, that is not on me, because I am not trying to get you guys into trades. I'm not trying to get you guys to take trades. This is just me taking trades that make sense to me, and I'm willing to put the risk on that I am trading with. So I don't want anyone to be getting hurt doing this stuff just because of whatever reasons or personal reasons. I'm just doing this because of how I interpret the market, and I just want to make sure that's very, very clear. So today, because CPI is tomorrow, I have no willingness to trade with a funded account. It makes no sense to me to do that. CPI is tomorrow. I'd rather wait till then. Even if all this plays out, it really doesn't matter to me. That's just my game plan that I go into each week because I had to prepare, right? If you go into a week and you have no preparation on what days you want to trade, what days you want to avoid, what times are more are better, then you're literally planning to fail because you're just taking up to chance and how you feel, right? We have to be very disciplined. We are professionals, and we have to be observers. So if you're just going in randomly at random times and you're just picking a day and you're just hoping that the day performs, you're planning to fail, right? Professionals don't do that. Go to anyone that's at the top of their game. They know what their day looks like. They know what their week looks like. If you don't have any of those things, you're going to struggle in this. And so sitting down on Sunday or sitting down on Saturday, whatever day that is for you, sit down and prepare yourself for this week. Okay, this is what I need. This is the days that I'm interested in. These are the days I'm not interested in. Because if you look on my stories, I have like the tone of the week, right? Or my favorite tones. So I'm letting you guys know that the specific days where I'm interested in. Like today is not a day where I'm interested in putting anything worthwhile on. Will I participate in a simulated and I'm turning like on TradingView? Yeah, why not? It's a learning opportunity. But I'm not going to be putting my funded account on today. That makes no sense to me. Right? So I want to be trading in high probability scenarios. So this is what I'm going to participate in, is something in this where there's no possible way that I can hurt myself. I can't. Right? So make sure you have a plan before you get here, because if you're making your decisions during the game or during trading, you're going to make the worst decisions at those times because you're emotional. All of my decisions have been made in a emotionless time. So now when things happen, I know how to go back to my training because that's what I've done and I've practiced, right? So I've practiced that, oh, I'm trading ahead of CPI. I'm not taking a live trade. So that's just, I want to just put that out there because I think it's very, very important, and it's very, very helpful for you to have that system of your own. Maybe your system isn't like mine. That's fine. But find your system, find your rhythm, and then you do that every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, and you'll start to see the things that you want to see, the consistency, the discipline that many traders lacked, and I 100% lacked at the beginning. Even though I came from a very, very sport-oriented background where like discipline is needed and consistency is needed, I had those things, but they were being overran by emotions, right? So those were the things that I struggled with early on. Even though I had played football at a high level, I could be disciplined, I could do all those things. They just got overshadowed by my emotions because football and trading are not the same. I can correlate some things that I learned from football, but in here, if I take let's say I lose a rep in football, like I go to the next rep and I'm able to move on. The issue I had was when I lost money here, I felt like I had to get it right back. And that's not always the best thing to do, and to be patient and to wait. And sometimes waiting is the best thing that you can do in trading and not trying to get it right back, right? So those are things that I had to personally learn and get through to get to this point, to know that today is just not it for me. It's just not it. And I'm okay with waiting, even if it does everything that I think it's going to do and goes down here or even goes up here. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm even telling you right now, I don't like where it's at. I don't. And so if I'm saying that, I'm not as confident in this right now because I don't have a really, really clear direction based off of what it's doing. I want to see it go down here, but I'm not seeing the same things that I saw last week. Right now, I understand it's Monday, but if you look at the other days, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. You saw me say that very clearly, very, very open, and I wasn't like, oh, I'm not really sure. And also in trading, it's okay to not really know, actually. But they don't teach you that. They teach you need to know everything at all times. And, then when you don't, you feel less than. I don't feel any less than this week or today than I did last week when I had a better understanding of what was kind of happening, right? So I just kind of want to put that out there because I think it's very, very important to think like that, right? We want to think differently. If 90% of people fail, what are they thinking about? How are they thinking? We want to think the opposite, because you're most likely going to be better if you're thinking opposite of what 90% of the people here do. You're already putting yourself in a better position. So we're going to look at this right now. We're going to set on the 5-minute chart for now until I can kind of see and get a better understanding of what's exactly happening. I'm going to stay on a 5-minute chart just so it's a little bit higher. It's a little bit higher time frame. So it allows me to not get caught up in the movement on a 1-minute chart and in the 5-minute chart or 15-minute chart is really doing nothing, right? I don't want to get caught up in that. Like right now we're at the midnight opening price. So we're back to like pretty much, where is the midnight open? It is like right here somewhere. There. So pretty much, this price right here, we're literally right back there, right? So since midnight, we've done really nothing, but we know that we expect this because there's CPI tomorrow. I'm not confused by this price action. I understand the layout of the land. I look at the land, I'm like, okay, this is looking like it's waiting for something. Well, what's happening throughout the week? CPI, PPI. Okay, cool. So now I know today is low probability based off the way that I look at it, right? Very, very low probability. So that's how I'm treating it. So it's very low probability. I come in with here and I'm a little bit more loose on like, okay, it's going to go higher, it's going to go lower. I'm very loose on that because if I'm being honest, I don't know. I really don't know. I am expecting that we'll reach down here based off of how we traded. Came here, came really close, and then failed. That's what I'm looking for. Can you guys hear me all right, by the way? I've had no one tell me that they can actually hear me fine, because I would definitely appreciate that. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. I was thinking about changing my my screens and monitors. Sorry for the creaking of the chair. Because I think that this other monitor may be a little bit cleaner for you guys to view, because when I look up there on the TV, it looks pretty blurry. And I don't know if that's just mine or if your guys is fine. But that's just what it looks like for me. So again, I'm looking down, but giving the possibility that I can come up here. Again, I'm gonna be very, very cautious today. Even though I'm trading with this on this, I'm still treating it like it's an actual day. Like I'm not out here just trying to press a button and play around and have fun. That's not what this is. Like this is for me like a training session. This is a session that, yes, I'm not, like this is practice. Yes, I don't have my demo or my what is it? Express funded account through Top Step up, but this is still practice to me. I'm not just out here playing around just to click buttons and see what happens. Like if the setup occurs, then I take it. If it does not occur, then I just don't take it. Right? That's the discipline, that's the mentality that you have to have going into this. Because if you're out here, you think it's just going to be, you're going to have fun and just click buttons and do that stuff, that's going to work until it doesn't. And then it usually ends up hurting you. And trust me, I've had that before, and it's not fun. It's really not fun. So look, the 1-minute chart really haven't done anything. 5-minute chart really haven't done anything either. I want to just take a quick look at the gap that we're gonna have in about a couple seconds. About 30 seconds. Let's see where we are right now, actually. Okay, so we have a pretty large gap. So we may trade up to this spot like I was thinking. So we have about 189, let's say 200. So we're probably gonna trade up to this up here. Actually, probably trade up to that. So we're going to expect that, a little bit of that. And this is the gap that we're looking at. So 15-minute chart, we'll look at that. And then I want to outline this inverse fair value gap out here too before. And I want to see how we react there. But that's where I think we're going to draw up to, at least initially first. Okay. So we'll see how and what reactions we get there. But that's initially where I'm looking. And again, I used to be like so worried when I was doing stuff like this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss what's happening. Nah, I can take my time here. Can really take my time. So we hit the, remember, so we hit the actually low end of the opening range gap from Thursday. That's what we're trading up into currently. And we also hit the lower quadrant of the current opening range gap. So that's what we're trading up into currently right now. So I'm just watching. Again, we always want to see displacement. We always want to see key indicators that let us know, hey, it's time to get in, or hey, it's time to act. Right now, there's really nothing. It's just be patient. Really got to be patient here. So we're hitting consequent encroachment of the opening range gap from Thursday. That's what we're trading up into right now. But again, I think that we're going to come up here, which we just did right now. So we hit that gap. And we're going to see how we react. Because if we take this to here, I think we're in a premium. Let's check. Let's check real quick. So we're in a premium market right now. Just trading up into that. Again, everything above here would be premium. Everything below here would be discount. So we're almost going to hit the consequent encroachment of the opening range gap. It's roughly right here, 25,839 and a half. So that's essentially where it's at. Now we're going to see what we're getting here. We can go to a little smaller time frame now. This is a 15-minute chart. The 5-minute chart is here, so we hit that now. Hit consequent encroachment of that gap. And we'll just wait. Like, there's really nothing. I'm not interested in really anything else. So let's still stay on the 5-minute chart. I don't think there's really anything else right now to look at. So we hit London high, trade up to a premium market. And we're seeing the response and reaction that we're getting here. Does it show it wants to break down? Or does it want to show continuous strength to trade all the way up here? Now we can, oh, I didn't have it on here. Let's do this. So the new pane is here. Let's do the candle so we can watch that. Actually, no, I can just do this. Hold up. Do this. Let's do this. I think this already has ES on it. It does. Okay. So here we are. This is ES on this side. This is MNQ, so this is Nasdaq, just so we know. So I'm watching to see what reaction are we getting from both of them. Remember how I told you we had SMT here? Like, look here, this low. Let me draw it out so you can see this low specifically, and this low. Look how that one's lower, and then this low, and this low. Look how that one's higher. So we have SMT on both sides, by the way. So higher time frame. We have it here and above. When I start seeing stuff like that, that's especially when I'm like, yeah, I'm not really as confident in what's going on and what I'm seeing right now. And so I have to wait. But I just wanted to show that out to you guys. I mean, I have that. Always saw when I was learning how to trade, people draw on it, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's also part of the Picasso stuff, right? We need to start drawing on here. But let's see. What are we getting? So now on the higher time frame, like the daily chart, we traded back down into the volume imbalance. So let's go look at that. Let's take all this stuff off. Just want to show that. This volume imbalance here, we traded back down into that. There's SMT there as well. traded back down into that, back down into this gap. We have that volume imbalance there as well. So it's more looking like it probably wants to go a little bit higher. Again, I'm very, very hesitant to do anything until I see something that's very, very clear. Like that looks pretty obvious, right? Trading up there. Now, 15-minute chart, what are we getting? I want to see if we can close above here pretty bullishly, then to me that's like, okay, potentially that's where we want to go. But until I see stuff on the 15-minute chart start to confirm, because look at this stuff, look at the wicks we had on the 15-minute chart on Friday. That's so much confirmation. I don't want to go higher, or sorry, I don't want to go lower. I'm sorry. That's what that's telling me. So I'm okay with waiting. And if it gets up here before then, or it gets down here before then, without me really even seeing anything, it's fine. Like that's just the day that it is. So let's go back to a little smaller time frame so I can see everything. So you have the PM session low right here. So it could want to reach that and hit above that. There's 2 levels above that again. So I really want to focus on highs and lows of sessions. So session highs and lows, or I mean also daily highs and lows. Those are really, really important to me, and that's what I'm like waiting for, or my targets. So we've hit the PM session low currently from Friday, and we'll see the reaction we get there. This is looking like obviously extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. But we gotta wait because there's nothing here for me. Not a thing here. Most people are probably trying to chase this now because they're watching all of this, so they're trying to buy. Not saying that it can't come up here, but breakout artists are probably trying to buy all this stuff right now. I want to see a retracement. I'm not trying to buy at the high. Right? We have to have some type of rules to allow us to get in, allow us to add patience, because hold on, I think the first presented fair value gap might have formed. Yeah, right here, 931. So I like that it's formed. The first presented fair value gap pretty early on. For me personally, I like that. That's a good sign. But I don't want to put way too much on this chart, so that's why I'm not highlighting it, but it's right here. 931. We have, what is this high up here? Oh, that's the buy side liquidity. Okay. Let's change that so I know. Let's change the side of that. By the way, I have a great story. I'm locked out on my phone for 3 days. I forgot my password, so that's fun. And like, yeah, it was an interesting day yesterday. I'll say that. I had fun though. It was a really fun day. Even without my phone, I'm still chilling. I'm still chilling without it. But yeah, so this is looking, bullish. I like it. It's kind of showing more of a clear direction. Again, how I said in the beginning, I just really didn't know. I was leaning more towards the downside, but this doesn't look like that's what it wants to do. That's fine. Because our job is to be an observer, and then once we observe, we interpret. So this, what I'm interpreting right now is it doesn't look like it wants to trade down here, at least yet. That's what I'm saying. So I just want to watch. And for me, like, let's say something like this happens. Let's pull out the handy dandy paintbrush, right? Come on now. So it comes down here, first presented fair value gap. Say it can do that. Shows displacement, comes down. I'll buy it and then see if we can go up there. That's what I would do. Or maybe it doesn't come down here. Consolidates here, shows displacement, comes down, same thing. That's how I'm viewing this. I need to see something that shows me, yes, this level is being respected, or yes, this is being respected, and so now we can start to believe it. Again, we have to remember it's Pictionary, right? Look at this like Pictionary. We want the picture to be so clear that you know exactly what's going on. And if you don't have that, then there's nothing for you to do right now. What I mean by that is like whatever your, sorry about that, whatever your pattern, whatever your trading setup is, whatever that looks like, that's the thing that you're waiting for. So you're not necessarily waiting for what I'm waiting for, unless that's what you enter off of, right? The goal of this is to have a model that makes sense to you, not what makes sense to everybody else. Because if you can't trade that, then that doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if you see a breaker, but you can't even trade it. That doesn't matter. Like, I used to be so, like, breakers are one of my favorite things. Don't get me wrong. One of my favorite concepts. Especially when ICT was like, breakers, they are the thing that you look for. So that's all I did is I looked for breakers. And what you start to realize is breakers are literally like everywhere. Because anytime price trades into a fair value gap, there's going to be a breaker. Because it's a turtle soup every time. It's literally a turtle soup. Okay, so we're starting to see some retracement. That's what we want to see, right? We want to see a retracement. Now, does it get all the way down here? It may not. Now, if this expands away and creates a gap, I'm okay with taking that. To see if we can reach up to here. I'm okay with that. But I'm not just going to buy up here. That I'm not doing. I'm not doing that. No, thank you. Let's go to a different time frame. 4 minute. Okay, so on the 4 minute chart, we got a nice little, I'll call it FVG right there in the upper portion. So what I'd want to see though is, can we expand on a 1 minute chart and create a fair value gap? If we can do that, then I'll actually trust this. See if we can get up there. Because we trade into a 4 minute fair value gap, we would break this high, showing displacement. Like, it can't just like dribble up there. I want to see displacement and come back down. Then my stop loss would be there. However, I'll take 2 contracts and then go and then see if we can get up there. That's how I'm looking at this right now. If it comes back down to the first presented fair value gap, I told you what I would want to see. I'm not just going to buy it. I want to see it move away. Once I see it move away and create, like, let's say an inverse fair value gap or order block FVG, something like that, I'll take it. But you got to have rules and processes and in what you're looking for so that you're able to consistently do the same thing over and over again. That's the issue with most traders, and what it was with me was every trade was so inconsistent that it was very hard to keep metrics. I couldn't keep any metrics because everything was different. Every time the trade was different, the process was different. The trade might have looked the same, but the process was different, so it's hard to manage that. If I'm doing something different every day, how can you learn from that if everything you do is different? It's very hard to learn that way. So make sure you have a process. Once you have that process, you stick to it for months. I was talking with my friend the other day, and I mentioned this to my mom as well. Like, there was a period in time where, this was after 3 or 4 years of learning ICT. I sat down, I was like, okay, I'm tired of doing things the way that I had been consistently doing them. I need to change. So I sat down and did charting, only charting, for 6 months. That's all I did. I didn't press a button. I just said, okay, I'm going to chart every day for 6 months. And I did it. And to be honest, it didn't even feel like 6 months, by the way. It felt like it was like 6 days. And that's how I got so much better with just looking at this. Then I transitioned into demo. Oh, sorry. Then I transitioned to tape reading. I'm sorry. I would do stuff like this. Where is it? Since we're just waiting for this to do something, it's not doing anything right now, at least for me. I do stuff like this. Okay, like I'd like, okay, this is where I'm targeting. Say I was buying here, I would do something like that. And then I would say, okay, so I bought here. I'm expecting price to go up there. So now I would just watch it. Then I would do this. I think I did this for like a couple weeks. Then that's when I went into the live part, where I started to go to the funded accounts again. Because I was like, I keep paying these people. I'm tired of paying them. Like, they need to start paying me. That was like the thing that I was like, they need to start paying me. Like, I ain't paying them no more. And that was like the change or the difference that I had that honestly helped me. And then here I am now. And I started, if teacher knows, I started on another account. It was called the Informed Minority. I think all the videos are actually still up there. Like, I didn't take anything down. And I was getting cooked because I was like, dang, this is a little bit different. And I was like upset at myself and angry at myself instead of just being like, let me observe, it's fine. It's okay to lose, like all that stuff, right? You still have to deal with that. Doesn't matter how much back testing you do. If the mentals ain't right, you ain't getting to the chicken. I can tell you that right now. You ain't getting to it. So you have to fix you, and not saying that like there's something wrong with you. It's just like understanding the things that, first of all, I'm looking at this right now. I want to highlight this. The suspension block right there on the 1 minute chart. We're going to do it this one. It's the first presented fair value gap. I want to take all that off. But it's a suspension block right there. So trade down to a 5 minute gap, which is even better. Now, if we can, again, show displacement above here, even cooler. But that's what I'm looking for here. Obvious displacement above. Again, look at the bodies. That's what I'm focused on right now, the bodies. What are they showing me? This is so much. Long on gold, teacher. Okay, cool. We can check that out right now until it's doing something. Let's look at gold. Get that money. All right, here. Or are you down here? What is Dixie doing? Dixie's going higher. In theory, this should be going lower. In theory, if that's the case. That doesn't look, that looks interesting. Long on gold. It could work out. In theory, I think it's gonna go lower. Just looking at how this is trading, just quickly. But again, it could come up here and reject, right? 1 minute. Yeah, I saw the one. Oh, that's the wrong one. The 1 minute. I don't know if you were in down here. Oh, sorry, here, or if you end up here, or something like that. But yeah, this. Yeah. Just the way Dixie's trading, unless hopefully this rejects. If this rejects, then yeah, should be straight on the long on gold. But I haven't traded this in so long. I'm telling you, like my account was passed through this joint right here. Gold was getting me right. Getting me right. You do have this volume imbalance there too. So let's see if that's able to hold this breaker. But yeah. Do you peep? Just gonna go back to this. Sorry. Do you look at dollar while you trade gold, teacher? To see the inverse. So I like the bodies. I want to see some displacement here, not just like creeping up. Like displacement is this, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Like you see how this is moving away with speed. This isn't showing that signature right now. So just got to be patient. telling you right now, I can't wait to get like a little stream deck. I'm telling you, this stream is going to be exciting because you're not going to know what I'm about to press. Y'all ain't finna know what I'm going to press. But yeah, could see that bullishness. The way that this is moving, it looks like it wants to go higher, so it should. But this trade up into an hourly gap after taking this out though. So yeah, the nearest short term buy side is there. Well, let's go back here. I'm looking on another chart and it's doing it. So let's look here. Okay, cool. So now it needs to. It can't like come up here and reject. If it does that, then we got an issue. We got an issue. So I'm gonna focus here right now. And again, this is where it could potentially be wanting to go. Now I want to see a fair value gap get created here. If that's possible without just running up or it's just really, really far away, then that's the plan for me. So as long as it doesn't just run away very quickly, then if it does that, then there's really nothing there for me. And then we can readjust or assess what's next. Again, so this is market structure. It's showing it can't go below lows there. So if we can, let's see how I'll take this. I don't think it's gonna come back that deep. Sorry, that's probably really loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll take one. If it could trade below that, if it trades deeper, then I'll take another one. So it needs to trade below that. It can't. I just want to make sure there's no. Am I tripping? Nah, it ain't there. Okay, cool. So I just don't want the suspension block to be there, and I could be buying now. So let's see if it can get down a little bit deeper. Okay, so there's one. If it trades a little bit deeper, I'll add more. But TP is up here. Stop loss is down here, down below this. And so if it doesn't give me more than one entry, then I'll add one more, but that's about it. If it could trade a little bit deeper. What if I don't like how you can see this on this one? Why is it doing that? Why? See, I want to add another one if it can go a little bit deeper, but this over here is really bothering me. Trading position. There we go. There we go. There we go. So we can go a little bit deeper. I'll add another one. If it can't, then I can't. The reason why I was okay with this, because I know I can trade with two, or like that's what this scenario is, me trading with two. Let me explain to you why I said I will trade with one and if it can go deeper. So right now we're in a premium. So I don't think it can go. I don't think it should go all the way down here. If it's good, it shouldn't go all the way down there. If it was able to trade a little bit deeper into this gap, I would add another one. But I was not willing to take the full risk from right here. That's what I'm trying to tell you, or I guess say. I wasn't willing to do that. So we'll see if we can pull up there. Yeah, and with one, again, like some partials, there's buy side here. I mean, I know we're trading it back up into the week opening gap. That's not exactly the high. Hopefully I don't miss adding if it does come back down a little bit. This is buy side. Let's go back here. So if we can trade a little bit deeper in, I'll add another one. Okay. Supposed to add it there. Did it add? There we go. Okay, cool. So that hitting there, that's where I'm okay with adding. Again, do we get it? Does it trade lower? It can. I don't know. But based off of what I'm seeing here, come up down here. It can come back down here and then do the same thing, and I'll take another one. But this is what this is what I would be looking for. And I'll take one off here if it can even do that. Sell one here. Yeah. So if it can go up there, that for me is I'm okay. So now, based off what's happening and my rules, all I can do is sit here, right? I can't like start fiddling around or trying to move things or try to fix things or try to whatever, because there's no need. Whether I move my stop loss, whether I say this is what exactly is going to happen, whatever I'm saying or doing has nothing to do with what's actually going to happen, right? Like this thing could just fold and like come all the way down here, and guess what? That's just what happens, right? This is what happens. So, at least nice initial reaction. I didn't believe it would come all the way down here. It doesn't mean that it still can't. I'm allowing it to do what it wants to do. I'm not going to jam it up there and try to be perfect. I'm looking at this wick because it's the highest one. It's a gap. This is still considered a fair value gap. Oh, I keep doing that. Hold up. Let's look at okay. I know we're trading up into the first presented. I know we're trading up into the new week opening gap currently, and this is the high of it as well. So me taking a partial there to me makes sense. Again, I'm not trying to always full pull everything. I don't want to try to full pull. Like I think there's certain times where you can full pull. I think that's like CPI after, obviously, not before, or at least for me, after. You may be able to trade before. And right now it's just not it, right? I'm not really expecting a whole bunch. I just think that that's where the draw is. And if I'm being honest, if I were to actually put it where it's supposed to be, why is this tripping right now? Why does this look different? Hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. Something's not right here. This order block, I'd want to see it hold here. I would want to see that hold. Doesn't mean it has to, but I would say like that for me would be like order flow is bullish and not really gonna trade a little bit deeper. Now it can do what it wants, but that's what I would personally want to see. Now something ain't adding up here, because when I look at this thing and I look at the other thing, this is at the right place, but it's not at the right place, if y'all know what I mean. Something's off here. I don't know what the issue is, but we're gonna just keep it right there for right now. Because when I look at my 5-minute chart, it's showing that the level that I have above is, like for my targets, it's showing that it's above this, but when I look at this actual chart right now, it's at it. So that's what's not making any sense to me right now. That's why I'm a little bit confused, just so if you know, or if you would like to know. Why is that though? I don't know. It is what it is. We're just going to sit here and we're going to watch this trade anyway. So it's going to pan out. What I mean it's going to pan out, it's going to do what it's going to do. I'm not saying that it's going to go up here. I'm saying that it's going to do whatever it's going to do regardless of where I have my stop, where I have this. I could have it right here. It doesn't matter. And now all we can do is just wait. I have my camera, right? By the way, I got the what is it? It's called the Sony EV or ZV-E10. I'm sorry. It's like the vlogging camera. So I have that. I just had to buy some lights and stuff. My friend was telling me I need to buy some lights. And with that, then you guys will be able to see me. So you'll literally be able to see like when I'm just chilling. Like my hands literally, I either sometimes put them behind the chair too. And I just be chilling. Because everything that I thought, everything that got me into this trade, that's what I'm going off of. So right now, trying to do anything else really doesn't even make any sense, right? So right now we're trading down into a 5-minute fair value gap. I want to see it hold. Like I want to see this become a stop run. So I want to see the bodies not be really able to put candle bodies down below this on a closing basis, specifically below this one. And I want to start seeing some displacement. The reason why I was okay with getting in here in displacement, ideally, like this is probably one of the things not my favorite, like when I see this, but it could have left this open, which is fine. But look at the bodies here. So that's what made me trust it. Okay, we're in a higher time frame fair value gap. The bodies are respecting here. We're going below this low. Cannot go lower. Or not showing that it wants to go lower. We displace away. It's just the same set. It's the same process. Like I'm not trying to force anything here. This is just the same process as any other trade you see me take on any other of my accounts. It's the same thing. So all I can do is wait. I know I'm taking something off here. I'm not trying to do a full pull. It may not even get there. It may not do it. And that's fine with me. How's gold doing? Okay, nice. It's moving up. Nice buy. Okay. So again, what I'm watching is the bodies. The bodies of the candle. What are they telling me? What are they showing me? I'm not worried about getting stopped out. I'm not worried about losing. I'm just watching what are the bodies doing right here. What are they showing? So I've understood that we've hit the two levels. Remember I was talking about the Friday low? What do you mean I'm also in longs? On gold? You're talking about gold? No, I'm not trading today. Like I didn't trade it. I didn't take any trades in gold. I was just looking to see what gold was doing. I didn't buy. I didn't buy at all. Yeah, I'm only paper trading today. Yeah. There's no interest. I have zero interest in taking live trades right now. Yeah, no. Zero interest in taking live trades right now. Absolutely zero. Zero interest. Why is that? Why I don't want to take live trades today? Because of PPI. We have CPI tomorrow. So I have no interest in taking a trade on a day like this ahead of the news. This is ahead of a heavy news driver. So that's why you see this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to put my live funds at risk. Yeah. So that's why I'm not trading live funds. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't like how deep this is. I do like the wicks that are being created though. Yeah, teacher. Yeah, no problem, bro. I'm always gonna be here. I like this. I really enjoy this, by the way. Like I enjoy trading. I enjoy the whole process of it, right? It like puts me back into like this like I'll say team game mode type thing, right? So looking at this, like it did come back down to a discount here. Now we do have this gap obviously right here. So buying up in a premium obviously is not the best. I didn't think it could come back down here, but it obviously did. Now what I want to see is what it's doing now. It needs to show displacement like very, very quickly from coming down here after all this consolidation right now. That's what we need to see. At least that's what I need to see specifically in this trade right now. Now it came down to a discount. It needs to start moving away. So yeah, for me it's not, I don't like the trading ahead of news drivers with my own money. Now doing it like this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, so the bodies right now are being held here. But again, I don't like this type of signature. It came a little bit deeper. Not because of where my entry is. It's just pretty deep. Where's the fair value gaps? Right here. So potentially going to get stopped out here. That's fine. I'll just reassess to see what happens. If we trade back down here and then again move away, I'll take another trade. If we don't respond here and we trade all the way down here, then we'll have to reassess to see what happens there as well. And this is what I was talking about the last time. If you're watching my stream on, I want to say it was Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those streams, I had talked about when I am sitting in drawdown, because even if this doesn't win, it's fine. If I'm sitting in drawdown, that immediately lets me know that I bought in a premium market. That's what that tells me immediately. Because my trades either lose very quickly or I'm not in drawdown very quickly. Those are the two signatures that I've seen in my trades. So this is telling me if this ends up coming up here and coming up here, that's let me know that I bought too deep in this. Even if this doesn't, I bought too high is what I'm pretty much trying to tell you. I bought way, way too high. Now I didn't think that it would come back down here with this wick, this gap, and what we got. Doesn't mean that it can't do that. But it's at least telling me in my what I'm looking at in terms of the precision element that I specifically see in my trades, they don't sit down in my entry very, very long. So it's telling me that this is not the best entry. So then let's say this does pan out or it doesn't pan out. Doesn't matter. To me, it's like, okay, so now when I go back and say, okay, how can I do this better? Buying like there. Right? Even if this doesn't win, that's not the point. The point for me is like, how can I get better at this entry? Because it wouldn't change my process, because the process is we've left this gap open. Doesn't mean we can't trade down to it. We obviously can trade down to it. There's nothing that's saying that we can't do that. But we have this expansion away. Okay, it came down. I bought it in a premium. Okay. So how can I get better at this exact trade over this? It's telling me, okay, I need to wait for it to come back down to a discount. And then so the first entry would have been at 10.03. Right now, imagine at 10.03 versus this. Again, it's still sitting here a little bit longer than I would expect. But buying up here and sitting through this versus here and sitting through this, they're not the same thing. It's not even the same feeling, right? Not the same feeling. It's not the same thing. So that's like how I'm trying to look at this, right? This is how I am looking at this, regardless if this winner wins or loses. That's what that's what's going through my mind right now. Also, we have a macro. Where is it? Where does it start here? Oh, not this one. Oh, I don't think it's on. Oh, this one, I don't think it has it. Oh, well, there we go. X50 to X10. That's the macro. So in this instance, it's 950 to 1010. Again, I'm watching the bodies. I'm wondering, I think it already did it. Let's check. Let me take this. This is too much going on right now, actually. Take that off as well. And I can take this off, and I can take this off. Okay. So, I wonder if it already did it. I think it did it a little bit. So again, look how much time I'm spending in drawdown. Way too much. Regardless if it wins or loses. I'm spending way too much time in drawdown right now. Way too much time. So my notes, I say, okay, I took this trade. It did everything that I look for in terms of entry of a trade. I saw bodies respecting. I saw expansion move away from a higher time frame level. I saw a fair value gap. But the issue with this trade, or the one thing that what I could do better in this trade is I was sitting in too much drawdown, which immediately lets me know precision elements here for me in terms of discount to premium, were off. That's how I document this trade. Win or loss, it doesn't matter. The process of that and going through that stays the same. That's what I mean. And I want to just let's look at gold right now. Okay. Dixie chilling. Nice buy on gold. But look how much time we're spending in this trade. Long time. Long time. I've been in this trade for, used to have it, oh, here it is. 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, we've literally gone nowhere. We haven't really done anything. We've done nothing. Now let's take the same thing, right? We're going to take gold's finally moving. I just peeped it. I peeped that. We're going to take the same thing. 20 minutes is when I entered the first time. We're going to move it back over to when I should have entered. I'm in the trade for 9 minutes. Still didn't really go anywhere, but looks better. Looks decent. I'm going to take this, I'll put that above there or something. Right, that's a different process. I can come up here and just rake down here. They can do all that as well. There's no guarantee this is working or guarantee any of this does anything actually. But that's what, this is a process oriented trade. And so you have to be able to follow the process throughout it every single time. At all times. So this is immediate rebalance. What I want to see us is not overtake this anymore. I don't want to see us start to come back down. So I want to see us respect this level specifically. I want to see movement, speed. Coming down here, I don't think it doesn't make a lot of sense to come back down here if we're going to go higher right now. Let's look at ES. So now ES is looking heavy. But yeah, teacher, I saw that gold was moving. I peeped that. It's a good buy. That was a very good buy. About you? But yeah, if you go look at any of my other trades, right, on my that I went over this weekend, the ones that are, especially the one on Tuesday, I think it was. The one on Tuesday. Yeah, especially the one on Tuesday. That trade total was 6 minutes. The total trade from entry to exit was 6 minutes. So when I'm sitting in this, like regardless, I'm sitting in this, I'm like, this is a very, very, very long trade, regardless of what happens. And so, like, do you have the same metrics of like, okay, if I'm in a trade, my trade usually takes 30 minutes, or my trade usually takes an hour, or my trade usually takes 15 minutes to take profit, or something like that. Like, those are metrics that I have, that I understand, and that I know. Usually when this thing starts to get to 20 to 30 minutes, I usually end up losing the trade. That's the usual metric. Doesn't mean I'm automatically going to lose. Doesn't mean I'm automatically going to win, or I'm going to win. That's just the metrics that I've taken and that have given me insight on this. And even looking at this, does this look like this really wants to? Is this showing you low resistance or high resistance right now? This is very low resistance. Very high resistance. I'm sorry. Very high resistance, because when it's low resistance, it comes and it goes. This is low resistance. This is not low resistance at all. At all. It keeps coming up and down and up and down and up and down. Let's look at this again. This is looking heavy over here on ES. On ES. But again, my goal, my job is to be a risk manager, right? I can't sit here and try to make, what am I going to say? Like, can this trade work out? It can. Can this trade work out? It cannot. Like, it can do both. My job is to manage my risk and to allow this to do whatever it's going to do regardless. That was the difference in understanding that I had, that allowed me to trade freely, that allowed me to understand that losses are a part of this. If I want to be able to play this, if I want to be able to do this long term, I'm going to take losses. Like, that is a certainty. That is a certainty in trading. You will take losses. You will not. Yeah, like, it's crazy. So, like, the realization that I had was that I was like, okay, so if I know I'm going to take losses, how am I able to manage my emotions, but also how am I able to manage the four people, right? ICT has talked about them a lot. How you have the analyst, you have the trader, you have the risk manager, and you have the, like, psychologist, I think is what he calls it, the last one. So which one, and I think he talked about, like, if two of them are out of alignment and all that stuff, then you have issues. Most traders' problems aren't analysis and aren't the trader. It's the risk manager and the psychologist. Those are the two that they struggle with the most. Those two people, or voices, That's where you struggle. It is not that you don't know what you're doing, because any system works. If it's repeatable and you can see it, the system works. There may be ones that work better than others, but all the systems work. And so the difference is how someone can be trading, I don't know, GAN or something, which I know absolutely nothing about, or supply and demand, and they're making money, and you may be trading ICT, or you may be trading some other form of trading, and the reason why you're not making money is because they have control over their risk manager and their psychologist, versus where you do not have control over that. And every time you lose, you end up putting more on, and you can't take the loss, where they're just, I don't care. There's no pressure on them. I feel like sometimes we, as traders, especially in the ICT camp, put so much pressure on yourself because you feel like the knowledge that you're getting is so elevated that you should be able to do X, Y, Z. Right? When you put that amount of pressure on yourself, especially in the beginning, like there's no need to be pressure. I don't feel pressure right here. I'm just watching. And whatever happens, happens. And then tomorrow I do the same thing. And then the day after that, the same thing. And so that's just that's just like the mindset you have to have going into this. Like, my risk management is on point. I know how to handle what happens. And when I analyze a chart and I'm seeing the things that present itself that gets me into a trade, I take the trade. Because what used to happen, right? I would watch, let's say, like, you think you know which trades are that are going to be good and which trades are not going to be good, right? Like, that look the same. I'm not talking about like this looks nothing like what you're entering on, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something looks exactly the same as another trade that you took the other time, but because you lost the time before, you're predicting that this is going to lose, so you don't take it. And then what happens? It comes down here, starts to move in your direction, and then you buy in the worst spot. And then it pulls back on you, and then you're like, see, I knew it wasn't going to work. What? Well, if you bought when you were supposed to, how do you know? You don't know. And like, I'm okay with saying that. I don't know which trades are always like going to work and which ones they don't, because that would eliminate losses. Why would I take a trade I know that's going to lose? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. No one gets into a trade and is like, oh, I'm losing this one, and they click the buy and like, oh, look, see, I lost. That's not what, no one does that. You get into a trade because you believe, based off the things that you have seen and the back testing, whatever that you've done, your model, it's there. So buy it or sell it. As long as it's in the time window, time frame, everything is what you're looking at. Like, now, if I was trading this at, I don't know, 3:30 a.m., a time I don't normally trade, that's not a good thing for me. Because why? I don't trade then. I'm not liking this at all, by the way, just so you guys understand. This is taking way too long. Way too long. It makes me think that it wants to break down. But I can't just jam my stop loss up because of that. If I get stopped out down here, I do. It is what it is. But what I am watching, though, is this. What I want to see is I don't want to see SMT here is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I don't want to see us do SMT. If I start to see SMT and this not really start getting close and not moving, then I'll probably have to reevaluate this trade right now. Okay, so we're not getting that. That's fine. I don't want to see rejection here. I want to see it pull through. On a closing basis. Because rejection here is not ideal, especially is not ideal with how long we've been trading sideways, right? We're trading sideways for a very, very, very long time. And this is not showing. We're going to do this. Like, need to see some excitement through that, because it pulling back down now is not a good sign for this trade specifically. Just the time element. Like, look, we've been trading sideways and it's going slower and it just barely peeked its head up there. What I would have rather seen is it kind of shoot through there and then close above. If that's the signature that I'm seeing, I have more confidence in this. But if we're not seeing that, like if we can close above this, then that's when I'll reduce my risk. I'm not going to just jam it up there, but I'll reduce it. I'm watching ES2. Let's make this big so we can see this, so you guys can see this as well. Because we want to see it start shooting through. If we can close above here, I will reduce my risk. Okay. Close above there. I'll reduce it to these bodies down here. If I had more, I probably would take one off here. I want to see if this is something that we can get up there, because this SMT is just not my, I don't like that much. But this is my one. I only have two on, right? Because if I take one off here, then the other one comes off there. I want to see this. Which we may not get. We may not get that. This may just fold down, and that's the risk that we take by trading the financial markets. It's a risk every time, and I understand that. The bodies on the 5-minute chart though don't like that one. But this is a risk. Every single time you take a trade, you are risking X amount. Or you should be risking. You should have defined risk. If you don't have defined risk, that's an issue at the beginning. And trust me, I've been there before. I think when I first started trading, yeah, this is looking very, very heavy right now. When I first started trading, I think the first trade I took was back in 2020. And no, it was 2020, and it was maybe August, September or August. I think I started trading, and I didn't really know the difference between anything. I had like a demo account that was like $1 million in $1 million or something. I think it's the one I had, and I had took it on, I think, GJ, or I took it on like USD JPY. I don't remember which one it was. And I told you, like, I woke up with like 52,000 demo baller, no idea what's going on type of money. And I was like, yo, this is gonna be a breeze. I don't know nothing about this. And I just pressed a button, and now I'm up 52,000. This is easy, right? Obviously it's demo money, and I didn't really know anything I was doing. 5 years later, I have arrived. I actually haven't arrived. I'm still learning. But you get my point. Like, it wasn't what I thought it was. It was like, I remember going to my mom. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be getting these cars, these houses, and all this stuff. I was like, this is not as hard as people be saying it is. And I found out the hard way that is exactly what people say it is. But that's because I didn't fix me, right? I was the issue. I was a problem. I was the problem. So my mind right now, I'm going to just put this up here, by the way. My mind is telling me that if we do push up above this, if we can push up above this with ES, my mind is literally telling me to take something off. If we can do that with ES. So if ES can push up above this high, And wherever this is, I probably should have left that. If ES can move above this high and take this out, if this is hopefully above this part, then I'll take one off as it does that. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now and what's getting me. And then that's when I'll move my stop loss to break to barely above break even. But this has been a very long trade, I'm telling you. Very long trade. Like, I feel like I've been in this thing for an hour. Like, this ain't even worth it to me. And that's why I didn't trade with live funds today. Like, I was very adamant about that. Like, that I'm not doing that. How long have I been in this trade for? 40 minutes. 38 minutes. 38 minutes. I've been in this trade and we've gone nowhere. Like, really, we haven't gone anywhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if I entered there, still, this is a very long trade for where we're looking, or at least where I'm looking. It's still a very long trade. You got the W. Good job, Brody. Oh, you took it to this high, down there to this high. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, nice dub, Brody. Nice one. You know that meme is like, nice. See, I gotta get the little stream deck. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a geek in here. Yeah, small piece from the yeah, bro. You don't need that much. You really don't need that much. They teach you to like that you just need all the you really don't need that much, to be honest. You get a small piece of everything. I just honestly this is. Yeah, get a soundboard. I'm telling you, bro. I'm going to get a soundboard. I'm telling you. I need to get one because this job will be a little bit easier, a little bit better, in my opinion. Yeah, so I'm just telling you right now, I don't think I'm going to win this trade, by the way. I don't. Just based off of how this is all panning out, right? It's just so slow. So slow, so sluggish. Looks nothing like any of the trades that you saw last week. This looks like none of them. None of them. Not one of the trades I took last week does this look like. So for me, it's like, okay, cool. So I'm getting that realization. I understand it. I'm not just going to click this, like, oh, you know what? You know, I did this and did that. I just let it go. Just let it go. Because what if it doesn't go down here? What if it does go up there? And this does take this out, but this one doesn't. And I don't know. But I'm okay with taking this because the same thing happens tomorrow, and the same thing happens the next day, and the same thing happens the next day. I could come back in here later if I really wanted to. I don't want to. This is telling me I don't want to be a part of this already. Already. But yeah, I will get a soundboard soon. Yeah, follow the plan. And you just go with that. You don't try to change anything. Don't try to have it be something it's not. It is what it is, right? I'm not going to sit here and try to change things right now because it doesn't look the way that I would want it to, right? It is what it is. So the SMT that I was telling you right here, which I didn't really want to see. I guess it's right here. Peeking our head above this, that's not ideal. It's not ideal. But I wanted to see if we could, because we're kind of hanging a little bit. I wanted to see if we could push up one more time, and then I would have taken one off there. That's what I was kind of explaining or thinking about. But this is just so sluggish and slow, and it's not moving, and it's just staying in the same range, and it's just like, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. So I want to see if this is a stop run, because that would be a cookie trade right there. The bodies weren't able to close. So either this is going to rise and show SMT, or this is going to completely fail and then shoot down with speed. It's going to do one of those two things. I want to see if we can get up here, because it didn't really displace. It's not saying it can't come lower. It doesn't say this is going to win. I'm expecting this to lose. I'd be surprised if this doesn't, because of the characteristics I told you. Like, I've been in this trade for way too long. Way too long. And it's not like a trade that I'm talking about, like I've been in this trade for an hour and it's moving in a direction. I've been in this trade way too long and it's moving sideways. Right? That's more or less what I'm talking about. And again, if it can come up here, if it can get up here and this reaches it at the same time, I will take one off above that. But again, that's the plan. That's what I'm following. And let's see if this can hold. Right here. Does this order block hold? Does it show any willingness to show price going higher, or does it just run right through it? It's not looking too responsive to me based off of where we're going to close. Yeah, nah, this is gonna get stopped out for sure. 100p. This is getting stopped, cause that don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. Oh, DJ, by the way, bro, if you message me, my phone's cooked, bro. My John's cooked. I forgot my password to my phone. I typed that John in. I had to call Apple. Apple's like, yeah, you ain't getting it back for like 3 days. Bro, dude, I don't even know. I was out shopping, bro. And then, like, I don't know if I was typing in things wrong in the first part. And then it was telling me that my Face ID wouldn't work. And then it told me my Apple Watch, I can't unlock it with my Apple Watch. Then it was telling me that I can't do this and I can't do that. So I'm cooked. But I mean, I'm not really cooked. I don't really need it anyways from what I'm doing. So, yeah, bro. I got bagged up, bro. Bagged up. Because I don't know if you texted me. I can't tell. Like, I turned it off. They were telling me, like, don't turn it on. Don't try to do things. Don't try to enter your password. Don't try to do this. Don't try to do that. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'll just leave it off. Because, like, I already got the whole delay for, like, 2 hours. What I don't want is them to, like, get me hit with the, you know, like when the phone just be like 9,900,000 something hours. Yeah, bro, I don't want that on this John. That's gonna be crazy because I ain't waiting for that. I will never make it. So the John's cooked, man. So yeah, we just gonna do what we can do. Brava. So y'all see why I didn't trade live funds today? Can y'all just see why? Y'all get what I'm saying? You see what's happening right now? I don't care if it even goes up here. I could care less. This is why I was like, I ain't doing none of it. It ain't happening, my boy. This is a long trade. Look, imagine going to work, right? Imagine going to work and they like, look, you got to do all this, right? So we need you to get this, we need you to do that, we need you to do blah 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 blah, and you get done at the end of work, and they're like, thank you, and you go home and you don't get paid. That's what this is to me. I'm like, why would I sit here during this? Like with live funds is what I'm trying to say. Why would I sit here with live funds, If I'm already expecting this price action, I'm already expecting this. Like I'm not like, oh, why is it being like I already know why it's being like this. I know the layout of the land. I'm not surprised. But if this can trade up here before coming down here, I'm 1,000,000% taking one off. And I don't care. And I'm okay with, is this where the, yeah, that's where the buy sell liquidity is. Okay, cool. I'm okay with taking one off wherever this is, if it can even reach up there, right? CPI is a news event. I forget what it's actually, let me see what's, I forget what it actually is. I don't know if it's like consumer something. I don't know what exactly it stands for. Pretty much what it is, it's just a news event where they like to move the market very, very fast and aggressive and very far. So we got to remember that this moves on an algorithm. So the algorithm is just waiting for that news event. And that's why we're getting this like mess or chop. Like, I'm not trying to be in all this right now. With live funds, like, I wouldn't do that. Like, you wouldn't go take your nice camera outside and it's raining. The one that you just got, you're not about to go take that outside and it's raining. You're not going to do that. So why would I take my money and place it in an environment that I'm already expecting it to be a little bit more choppy? It doesn't make sense. So again, this is nice. At least it didn't display. Now, if it starts showing displacement below this low, then, you know, cookies. But again, I'm not just going to be, oh, just, you know, let me just hit that. If I did it on accident, I would not have meant to do that. But it's not that deep. It's a loss. We all get them. It's just like, man, what we doing? What we doing, fam? What we doing, twin? I think, yeah, like, this is nice. But yeah, CPI is just a news event. I spent zero mental capital. I'm just watching. I'm like y'all right now. I'm just watching. It's like, what's about to happen? What's about to happen here? This is making me think that it wants to go a little bit deeper down into this because we're just holding here. We didn't even really show any displacement here though. Like if we came up like and it was like a turnaround, coming up and then displacing, like showing this here would have been a very telltale sign. But again, taking this low, it's a high. But again, we have to remember we have a premium array here. But yeah, it's just, this is like watching paint dry right now. Come on, get it so we can get out. Get it. Get it, get it. I mean, the fact that if it doesn't take this out, at this point, I kind of wanted to do something. Like, just go down here because I'm not taking another trade. There we go. Okay, cool. So that was the trade for the day. Where's the, oh, this was me checking something else out. Okay. That was the trade of the day. I'm not getting back in. I'm not gonna sit here and do this. So the execution marks. Let's take that off. So I bought here inside this gap. It traded a little bit deeper. We traded up here, very shallow. Came right back down, and then now it looks like we potentially want to trade a little bit deeper. I don't want to get back in. I don't want to try to do any of that stuff. Like I'm content with what was shown today. So again, during the macro time, we did absolutely nothing. We didn't do even anything during the macro time at all. And I don't care if this goes down and comes back up here. I guarantee you. I'm going to turn this off. I'll do my review of the day, before and after. Take a picture. I'm going to go read and do some stuff. Like that. That's about it. Then tomorrow, post CPI, you won't see this aspect. You'll see the top step X. That's what you'll see on here. So again, I appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Again, remember, I have access to my IG, so you can follow. You can hit me up on Picasso FX, but outside of that, you ain't getting no response for real. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, if you're trading ahead of CPI, I would be very, very careful about that. But again, you do you, right? Who am I to tell you what to do? So again, appreciate that. Appreciate everyone, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.